Well, welcome back, Air Gunners. This is Zach from the Shooter Zone, where we are always staying on target. Well, today I have one that's been out for a couple of years, but it never gets old and is always awesome. This is the AirForce Talon P Carbine. And this thing, again, is a powerhouse for 25s. It'll go anywhere between 50 FPE and 60 FPE on the high side. Obviously, depending on which pellet you're using and how high you have the adjustment wheel cranked down. Today, I was just shooting a little bit. I'm not going to do any video on the actual targets and shooting because I just want to intro this first, and then we'll come back and we'll do a more extensive video on this. But I was shooting at 40 yards, had the power wheel at about approximately, I think, 3 on the power level. And I'm shooting today H&N Barracudas 27.47 grain pellets, and I'm pushing this thing anywhere between 850 to 900 feet per second. Again, and that's only at power level 3. So again, this is a powerhouse. So what does it come with? Well, when you get the carbine kit, it comes with a moderator, which works very well. Love the moderator, quiets it way down, and it comes with the buttstock on it. That's part of the carbine kit. Now let's just go over a few things here. Again, I mentioned the power wheel. Power wheel goes anywhere between 1 and I think 12 is the maximum. And again, I was shooting at power level 3 today. And I'm sure I was hitting 50 FPE on power level 3. So again, you'll have to figure that out yourself. 850 to 900 feet per second. With this pellet, H&N, 27.47 grains. I'm sure that gets us there. All right, so comes with the moderator. Nice, comfortable foregrip. Nice, comfortable handle. It does have a 2-stage trigger, but it's not adjustable. But it's a nice trigger. It does have an automatic safety. So if you're not used to automatic safeties like me, you'll forget just about every time to push it forward and unlock it from the safe position. A 213cc bottle, which is on the small side, but again, remember, this is a carbine, so it's supposed to be small, right? I mean, else it wouldn't be a carbine. As far as shot count, just to give you an idea, basically got 15 shots from 3,000 psi, which is the maximum this bottle holds, down to 2,000 psi. So in between that range, 15 good rounds through that. Nice, powerful rounds. The 15th one, I think, dropped down to roughly 830 something feet per second, which is still good, which means you can get more than that. But as far as consistency, it starts to drop off at that 15th round. From there, we have the tri-rail adapter, which does not come with the kit. Everything above here is separate, obviously. Tri-rail kit, adapter, excuse me, and the AirForce 3x9x50 scope. And does have lit reticles if you like it. I think it comes in green, blue, and red, if I'm not mistaken. Does come with the dust covers and extension tube to keep the sun out. Does come with BLK scope mounts for it, which don't come with it, excuse me. Those are separate. Each of these is separate. Tri-rail mount separate, BLK mount separate, scope separate. But with the scope comes scope covers and the extension tube. All right, again, here's just kind of the rough on this. Again, if you get one of these, I will urge you to go to the YouTube channel for AirForce because they explain everything as far as putting it together. When you get it, the bottle will be off. Now, this bottle is not the typical screw-in bottle. It has the quick lock system on it, which means you insert the bottle in through the housing here, and then from there, there's this little piece right in here that unscrews. You unscrew that first, you insert the bottle in, you screw this down. It comes with a little lock wrench to tighten it down. It does have a little Allen screw right here too that you have to loosen first before you unscrew it, and then after you screw it back in, you tighten that back down to make sure it's nice and secure. Again, they always say don't over tighten things. Again, and That's always my thing too. Don't over tighten. From there, again, once you have this bottle on, it locked down in there, you do have a little adjustment to make on the head space on this. And basically what you want to make sure of, comes with 2 wrenches, and there's a lock nut behind this center piece, this front piece here. And basically what you want to make sure of is that when it comes all the way back and you lock it down, that there's no play, right? So again, that'll come loose, I think, because mine was loose, so I'm assuming they all come loose. Make sure you adjust that head space first so there's no play in that, and then lock it down tight, and you'll be all set. But again, go to the AirForce YouTube page. Again, they'll explain all this stuff. They'll explain maintenance, all those things. They do not recommend dry firing, and it says explicitly that if you have a problem caused by dry firing, it will not be warranted, and they are well versed on what it looks like when it's dry fired. So again, I don't know what'll happen to it, but whatever happens to it, they won't cover it. So don't dry fire it. Again, this trigger comes in usually under 2 pounds. So I'm not going to test that today. But again, when you do test that, don't dry fire it. All right, as far as that, this butt plate right here is adjustable. Looks like about 4 inches of adjustment. I have it almost all the way out to the end, and that works best for me. Again, you don't have to have it on there at all. You could use it in pistol form if you don't want to use the carbine form. So again, it's up to you on that. What else do we have to say here? Besides, it's an awesome carbine. Been posting this around all the Facebook pages quite a bit. Again, a lot of people responding to it. A lot of people probably didn't even know that it existed, which is why you always want to make sure you're keeping products out in front of everybody. But this thing is awesome. Scope is crystal clear. Adjusts well for my eye. Again, reasonably priced. I think these are just under $200 for the scope. So you can't go wrong with that. Again, this is a 3x9. They do have a 4x16 as well. So if you're just looking for a scope, go there for that. And as far as that goes, I think that's all I'm covering today. All I could say is this thing shoots really well. You know, I think I, as well as others, always kind of look at some of these air rifles that are single shot and think, oh, it doesn't come with a magazine. Well, I don't usually like shooting with magazines anyway, though it's always in the back of my mind, it's a single shot and doesn't come with a magazine. I think, again, if you're shooting accuracy, typically you're feeding in 1 shot at a time. At least that's what I'm used to. So again, why the magazine is not really a concern. I had that hang up, but now after shooting this for 2 days, I could tell you, it doesn't bother me. The rounds are easy to load. It gives you plenty of space to feed a pellet in, 1 at a time. And again, it's not an issue. I thought it would be for me, and I know some people have that hang up that it's a single shot, but again, I love it. And I think with the knockdown power on this, if you're placing your shot well on small game, you're not going to need a second shot. But if you do, I mean, literally, it's probably going to take you, if you're prepared, I don't know, 3 seconds to probably get another pellet in there and take a second shot. That's about it. Fill port is part of it, which is always nice. Again, I can't tell you how many fill probes I have that I try to keep all together in an old pill container, and it gets annoying after a while if you got 10 of them in there and they're all different, and you got to try to figure out which one's yours for this rifle you're shooting at this moment. Fills up really nice. Again, I have a GX2 battery powered compressor, and it fills it up nice and quickly, again with 213 cc's. It doesn't take very long. They do have, I think, a 480 something cc bottle as well, and I'm sure if you called them up and you said, hey, I want that Talon P Carbine, but I want the larger bottle on it, so I'm sure they would accommodate you. I'm sure there's an upcharge on that, being that it's bigger, but it still gives you the advantage of having the smaller 12-inch barrel that doesn't have the extended shroud on it. So again, keep that in mind. And again, that's probably all I'm going to give it today. We're going to try to get out here again in a few days. We got lucky on the weather today. It's fairly nice, but I think we're going to have a couple more days of rain coming up, and then we'll be, I think, at 70 in November on Thursday in Southwest Virginia. So that's going to be nice. I'm going to get out here and film a little bit more. But until then, keep checking back. Again, I'm going to have at least probably 1 or 2 more videos coming out on this Talon P, and then I got a couple more coming out also with the new Umarex Notos. I already have the first video done on that. And with that being said, again, I always appreciate you guys being here. Go to the Shooter Zone Facebook page, like that, like this YouTube page, again, and go to AirForce Facebook page as well and like that. There's also a AirForce owners, users Facebook page that gets quite a bit of play on there, so you may want to join that as well. But that's it for today, folks. Shoot lots, be safe, and we'll see you next time. Take care now.